So, Yanni, obviously I picked up on the points you made in our last session, and I'm pleased to say that there seems to be some movement on the charterers' side, and perhaps not in relation to the underlying claim, but the be-all and end-all, if you're talking about your financial commitments, seems to go a lot wider than the present claim. And I think in principle, the charterers value the relationship that they have with you. That they're very happy, I should stress that. And they would be interested, their business seems to be expanding, and they would be interested in extending the charter of Blue Chip Naples and securing an option for a second of your vessels, both of those on terms that I think present charter expires 1st February next year. So starting 1st February, 3 years at first year additional 1,000 compared with present rate, 1,000. Second year, further 1,000, third year further, and then if they exercise the options for the additional periods, 1 year plus 1 year. Yeah, so that I think, that's in relation to their business. They are not inclined, they feel very bullish about the outcome of the arbitration. They're not minded to make any offer in relation to, I think it's 280,000 that you're claiming. But they are proposing to split the arbitration and mediation costs. Each party bear their own costs in that regard. So that's the present proposal.
Jonathan, thank you. You are in the business of speaking and getting paid for it. I am in the business of measuring money and speaking on the outcome. There is no interest from our part to enter any further discussion with this party. The worst case I am looking at is 280,000 out of pocket, maybe a bit of cost. Maybe I've taken insurance with the UK FDD and they'll cover the cost, who can say. So in effect, I'm looking at a very small amount of money. They can win the arbitration if that's how they feel, and we can go home, because right now the market is turning. There's no way I'm going to accept last year's rates plus 1,000. It's peanuts, and there's no reason to do all of that for 250. And I would also question the degree to which this is in fact a legal transaction, and it sounds more like a brokering proposition to me. So I'm surprised you spent so long leaving the discussion to head so way off the ball, because I'm not going to accept a mediation result which is worse than the worst possible arbitration outcome.
I see. So,
but
I think, Jonathan, if I may, Yanni, like a lot of freak ship owners, is a man of passions, particularly if we choose to mediate in Naples, an excitable place. What he says is right, though. It is an abusive proposal from the charterer's side. They sense Yanni's anxiety. It's dressed up as a commercial proposal, but we have to bring this to a head. We've been mediating now for, as often happens, 12 hours. It really is a take it or leave it proposal. That's for Yanni, who's very well qualified to price these things. It's split the arbitration. We want to employ 2 vessels. We will go at market rates with a 5% discount. Yanni, does that work financially for you? No. Market rates less. What's market now?
No, the market rate is already where they are proposing.
Yeah.
I think all the expectations, all the leading houses, all the experience, the lack of new buildings, everything is pointing to an increasing market. So, maybe split the difference between ourselves and the index, or maybe get the current rate projected for a number of years, something like that.
50, let's do this, but we'd fix at current markets with a 5% 5% discount on the first 6 months?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
5% is very small.
A 5% discount on the first 6 months. And it really is, Jonathan, a take it or leave it proposal, because the commercial relationship is very beguiling, but the proposals after many hours of your private caucus are unattractive. We're here to settle the arbitration in reality. We'll settle that by splitting it 50-50, and each party bearing their own costs, and the arbitrators go. As a sweetener, in recognition of the good relationship, 2 one-year charters, market rates, less 5%.
Could you answer me this, Yanni? If you were to win, and who knows which way the arbitration will go, neither party knows, but if you were to win the arbitration, you would collect $280,000. Would that solve your financial problems? Would that give you long-term security or longer-term security in meeting
There's no long-term security in shipping. I can't be searching for something that doesn't exist. It'll get me down the road to the point where the market turns. Every penny counts. In the end, I didn't go to arbitration to charter the ships. Even if I lose, or even if I win, I can just go to a broker and see what to do with the other ships.
The point I'm driving at is this: I assume that there's quite a number of modern geared bulk carriers out there for these charterers to charter if they so choose. And picking up on what you described earlier as your financial difficulties, wouldn't an offer to take 2 of your vessels, you have 2 unemployed at the moment, to extend Blue Chip Naples and take 1 of the other vessels, wouldn't that do more in terms of addressing your financial concerns than...
It's a discussion I can have with them later, regardless of the arbitration outcome. The most that we're willing to do, and it's take it or leave it, my lawyer was very clear on that, and that's just the way it is.
So 2 one-year charters at 5% less than market rate. So 2 questions there. What do you calculate that 5% for the 2 vessels to be worth in round terms?
It's about $350 more or less, 5% of the current
So,
rate.
sorry, over the 1-year period?
350 times 350, yeah, it's 100,000.
So you would be asking them to pay what in relation to your claim? Your claim in the arbitration is $280,000.
We'd expect that to go away. Yeah, we'd expect that to go away.
We make the recovery of the 140, and then arbitrators' costs split. Each party absorbs its own costs. We take the 140.
140 of the 280.
Yeah, for us. So we lose.
So 50% of your arbitration claim, and then 5% discount on market rate for 2 vessels for 1 year, you calculate is worth an overall total of 100,000.
No, it's too high. It's 100,000 per vessel, so it's a total of 200,000.
So it's a fair deal.
Money for money, it's a fair deal for them.
Okay.
It really is non-negotiable. 10 minutes, they have to take it, no further discussions, no further negotiations. We've
And
priced it.
costs split, you're
Costs,
happy.
each party bears its own costs, arbitrators' costs split.
Now, I can of course present an offer on terms that it's final if that's indeed what you want me to do. Just please bear in mind the consequence, which is that if they don't like your offer and it is put as a final offer with the added comment, don't bother with any counter, then they will either go for it or walk out. Are you content with that as the...
In terms of the current political terminology, it's a hard, not a soft final offer.
So it's a Brexit offer.
It's a Brexit offer.
Okay,
yes.
I've got it clear.
It's a Mayan offer. as we
Yes.
say.
Well, I, not being Theresa may struggle with putting this to the other side, but I will do as you request. So please, if you could call the charterers back in. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And you can just call us up with the answer.